How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 194 of the Easy Peasy podcast. I'm excited for this one, y'all. We've got a cool guest in the house, a fella that goes by the name Jamesg. And as far as telling you who he is and what he does, I feel like I shouldn't take that honor because it's a hard thing to describe. So I want to hear it from his own, words. What's happening, James? How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Good, man. Yeah, glad to have you.
So I am a semi-pro helier who makes hip hop music, and I reside in Minnesota.
I was really hoping you were gonna say semi-pro helier because I saw that you had a sweatshirt that said that. I don't know if it was a real sweatshirt or
Oh
not,
yeah,
but
yeah. That's a real
sweet.
sweatshirt. Yeah.
Love it, man. Yeah, I didn't even know they still made Heelys, bro.
Yeah. They were popular like when I was a kid, and then
Yeah.
I think they've always been around, but they just kind of fell out of popularity, and then a few years back started gaining popularity again, and so I've just been on the way for the last like 5 years or so. So
So when did you realize this is what you wanted to be?
um I don't know. I think there were always signs, and then all of a sudden it just kind of happened. So I had them as a kid, like in 5th grade. They were really popular.
Yeah.
And then I lost those ones just as I got older, but I'd always ask for them
Mhm.
for like Christmas when I was in college. And my grandma got me my first adult pair, and I couldn't believe she did it. And I'd wear them to parties and different things like that. And then um, I was thinking about social media, and it's just so hard to like find things to post consistently as an artist. Besides, like, go check out my song, check out my song. So I'm like, what can I do that I don't see a lot of other people doing? And that thing was one of the things on the list was heliing, and I'm like, I could try that. And so it started as that, and it kind of developed into what it is today. So
It's awesome, man. It's you got to have a shtick in this world. If you wanna make a wave, you got to have a thing. You got to do something a little bit differently than it's been done. And I think you've accomplished that pretty well. Um, I think before we get any more kind of on your journey to being a semi-pro helier,
mhm,
we should play one of your more recent tracks. It's it's about the Healy life, isn't it?
more or less.
More or less. All right, so we've got a little introduction, monologue, we should call it, and then I'll play the song. But I love this stuff, man. It's awesome.
Do you ever wonder if people are truly comprehending what you're saying? If so, we're probably in a similar headspace. My name is James, and my song, Headache, was written about a Heelys accident. Back when I had more hair, I thought I was invincible. However, aging has kicked in, and the built-in hair helmet that I once had is no more. A few months back, I was rolling about my day, and a rock decided to rock my world. I'd like to think that my head is recovered, but part of me thinks that I'll never be the same. To my dismay, some people thought that the song was about the lingering hindrances that impact our day-to-day lives. Anyone who thinks that should probably give their brain a break. Headache is about a traumatic Heelys accident and nothing more. I've never really been into wearing protection, but I'm starting to think that it might be time. Do you ever wonder if people are
I beefed up that transition, buddy. My bad.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't know you were gonna play that. I was like, about
I
healing.
think
I'm like,
it's
oh yeah, I forgot I made that video.
dude, I think it's so funny, and it rolls right into the song, which is what I was trying to do for you, to
Oh, that's
give you
perfect.
the full experience, you know, but
We'll get it this
oops.
time.
James, I got a headache from the night prior.
A high flyer flying close, the sun I shine brighter. An OG in my lane, some people I'm wire. Possess the powers, got me feeling like I'm Mike Myers.
Party time, excellent. 110%, it isn't cool to try, so I buried all the evidence. Severance, book the mindset like a bad habit. I don't care how I'm received, I'm gonna make a pass at it. Don't lack practice, I'm not AI. Taking over games, rumors swirling around the grapevine. Taking all the grapes I've been given, trying to make wine. I know this shit takes time, that's why I don't waste mine. Garbage can, I fill the beat up to the brim. Throwing out this wordplay, got him sifting through the bin. The Healy hooligan, I'm playing chess, I wouldn't mind a checkmate. I'm feeling pretty good, just wish I didn't have this headache. I got a headache. My head feels like shit. I got a headache. I wish that it would quit. I got a headache. My head feels like shit. I got a headache. I wish that it would quit. Headache. My head's aching. Trying to case the place behind my face for now. I'm just waiting. Impatient, suffocating. Patience face stuck under blankets. Hope this irritation doesn't rub people the wrong way. Legs chafing. Now I'm chasing resolution. Need a better game. Relieve the beat. Black and blue. A cross between a Smurf and Panda. Gonna do what I do. Perennial. A ball and Santa. Trying to be more present. So I dig my claws in like a hawk at land. I have to shoot the tray like Trey. It's all a long shot. Over preparation. Spent a lot for the sun slot. Everything's a gamble. Like I throw the first from knob block. But I won't get the use. I'll bad flip and hit the walk off. Chucking up these chances. Hope they find a fruitful landing. It's demanding. Keeping up with the planning. I feel it in my hamstrings. Harvesting and canning. What I can preserve and seal it. I'm exhausted, it could all be in my head. Either way, I know I feel it. I got a headache. My head feels like shit. I got a headache. I wish that it would quit. I got a headache. My head feels like shit. I got a headache. I wish that it would quit. I got a headache. My head feels like shit. I got a headache. I wish that it would quit. Yeah. I got a headache, my head feels like shit. I got a headache, I wish that it would quit, yeah. I got a headache, my head feels like shit. I got a headache, I wish that it would quit, yeah. It feels like shit, I wish that it would quit. Fuck this headache.
Oh, dude. It's a banger. It's a banger, dude.
Thanks. I overdid the bass a little bit in hindsight, but I
Nah.
kind of liked it that way, so I went
Ah,
with it.
I like it. I like it. No.
Thank you.
I was listening on like decent headphones, and honestly, I think your mixing is on point.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
I can tell you put real work into it, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long journey. I started like self-producing and mixing in like 2014 or 15. And so it started out really, really, really bad, and now it's like presentable. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. So you've been at it for a while.
Yeah. I've been doing music as Jamesg since 2012.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, I'm sure that's been a bit of a learning curve, right?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Well, something I'm impressed by is it seems like you put something out like what, once a month almost?
Yeah.
I'm
So
impressed. I'm impressed.
thanks. Yeah, I try to build up so it's not as much pressure every month, but I was doing a song a month, and then this year I might do a song a month. I took December off to kind of plan out what I wanted to do for 2024, and at this point I have some songs ready. I have some other things I'm kind of working on, so I got to see how those all play out, and then yeah, it'll be a song a month or a song every like 5 to 6 weeks, but something like that.
Well, yeah, don't kill yourself, right? As long as
Right.
it's still fun. As long as it's still fun.
Exactly. It's like got to keep
Yeah.
it fun. Don't want to like burn myself out, burn other people out, and so it's kind of finding that balance is the goal for this year.
So you've gained some traction. I kind of stumbled on you on Instagram, and yeah, I mean, whatever you're doing, it seems to be working.
Yeah, it's the Healy stuff is it's very fun and we enjoy doing it. My fiance actually films all the videos and then I do the
Mm.
editing. And so it's just kind of part of our routine. We do it every single week and have for almost 5 years now. So it's like,
That's huh,
yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
been a lot, but it's cool. But that's kind of supplementing the music and it feels like the worlds maybe will collide eventually, but
Mhm.
yeah, time will tell.
Well, you're good at the social media side of things, and your content lends itself very well to being put into shorts, right?
Mhm.
Especially because you're so rapid fire with the lyrics. Um, it's almost like I don't know if you have it available anywhere, but it'd be cool to actually be able to read. I know on your like music videos, a lot of
Mhm.
times you'll have the lyrics playing along. So, um, you know, sometimes you miss some of the wordplay because it's so fast, but I get it. It's
Right.
hip hop, that's your speed, that's your tempo, and it works for you.
Thank you.
But like in Headache, I'm like, did he just talk about canning vegetables or
Yeah.
pickles or what?
There's like 3 or
What was
4 lines about Chuck Knobloch having the yips. It's yeah,
okay?
it's
Yeah.
there's a lot of things. So if on YouTube, if you go find the song, like on my at James Makes Music, like YouTube page, like the official audio thing, I put the lyrics in the description there.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Because yeah, I talk fast and sometimes I try to slow it down and then when I'm writing it turns out fast again. So I
Yeah.
kind of have to accept it that most
Yeah.
songs will be that way. So
Well, a horse can't change its stripes, right? I don't think that's how the saying actually goes, but
that's
good enough.
okay. It
Yeah.
sounded nice. Yeah.
Dude, but, like, yeah, the Healy thing, it's a very, like you said, it's just fun, and it grabs your attention immediately, um, and it cracks me up, man, as I went through your kinda catalog, I'm like, "This dude'll write a song about anything and
Mhm.
everything," you know? Which I guess lends itself to that rapid fire, putting a song out every month. It's like it doesn't have to be about any particular thing. It can be about how, what the weather's like, right? You've got
Mhm.
you've got 2 songs that are just about the weather, right?
Right. Yeah, no, that's kinda one of the nice things, and I try like, as a songwriter, I try to, like, have especially the chorus be, like, directed, um, towards something like that, and I try to, like, title the song something that's relatively unique, and that's I mean, there's exceptions to that, but I find, like, I have a song my most popular one in terms of streaming is called "Cop the Fanny Pack," and I'm like, I don't think anyone else has a song named that, and so it's pretty distinct, and so, some of the verses maybe blend together in terms of content in my opinion, but, like, a lot of the, like,
Mhm,
names and, like, the choruses are very, distinct so that hopefully people will find them and not find other songs when they find them or something along those lines.
I think we should maybe play Cop a Fanny Pack, it's one of my favorites.
Cool, yeah, let's do it.
Cool, right on, just a moment. So, yeah, I mean, like, are you actually a fan of the Fanny Pack? Was this an easy song for you to write? Like
Yeah, yeah, so, I used to wear fanny packs a lot more. I found one that has like a koozie in it, so you can, like, put, like, a drink, like, in it
oh,
while you're,
hell
like,
yeah,
walking around or doing your things, and so that's definitely, like, my favorite one, but
yeah.
yeah.
How many fanny packs does James G have in his closet? I gotta know.
Oh boy, I could just got another one from a company, like, it has to be 6 or 7.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I used to wear them a lot more too, so it was like when the song came out, it was more applicable. I still will
sure.
throw them on once in a while, but yeah, very, used to use them a lot.
Well, they're highly utilitarian, I got to
Yep.
admit, that I see the draw. I've personally yet to become a fanny pack man, but, that day may come, I gotta
Right.
say.
Yeah, I feel like it comes for everybody, so just be patient, yeah.
Alright, here we go. Oh,
Oh, there it goes.
fanny pack on my ways for utilities. Never waste a word, eco-friendly rep abilities. Starving like a fast, but don't question my agility. Currency is nice, but don't really want to kill a tree. Hey, stick to the beat like a sticker. Nuts on the track, my full covered in Snickers. Satisfied only when tracks start to shimmer. People hear words, but don't see the big picture. Baby steps towards it, hear patterns and pitters. Amongst the masses, just one in the litter. Trying to stand out like a van with the spinners. People talk shit, but their words are for dinner. Don't talk with food in your mouth. Hey. Grown-ass people pout. Hey. Chose a different route. What? That is what life is about. Down. Life is a garden, you know I go dig it. Straight out the nest with the way that I wing it. Wrestle with time like I'm wearing a singlet. No, I'll stay winning like Pooh Bear and Piglet. Hey, cop a fanny pack, it's where I keep my stuff. Pockets filled, yeah, they never were enough. Too much going on, couldn't juggle all at once. Now I'm hands-free, got that pack up on my front. Cop a fanny pack, it's where I keep my stuff. Pockets filled, yeah, they never were enough. Too much going on, couldn't juggle all at once. Now I'm hands-free, got that pack up on my front. On the front of my person, I'm slurring the sermon. I'm swerving on curving roads, curve of the learning. The tires are burning, the finish uncertain. I'm flirting with curtain to keep it from purging my purpose. It recently rose to the surface, doing stunts I should have been in the circus. Anxious of outcomes, but I don't get nervous. Finding the answers, good customer service. I serve it like volleyball, ping pong, or tennis. Never got plucky, that's word to my dentist. Slowly keep building like debt from my credits. I am who I am, yeah, I rarely use edits. Pockets is overflowing. Hot damn. I had to keep going. Yeah. Started controlling. Hey. I quit with the folding. Cop a fanny pack, it's where I keep my stuff. Pockets filled, yeah, they never were enough. Too much going on, couldn't juggle all at once. Now I'm hands-free, got that pack up on my front. Cop a fanny pack, it's where I keep my stuff. Pockets filled, yeah, they never were enough. Too much going on, couldn't juggle all at once. Now I'm hands-free, got that pack up on my front.
Love it.
Thanks.
Freaking love it, man. Yeah.
I can hear the
like,
mixing difference.
yeah, well, like I said before.
Oh, I know the streaming stuff, but I was like, okay,
Yeah.
yep, I can hear what I did wrong. That one's like from 2019, so I'm like,
Really?
oh yeah, yep.
Wow. Well, it's your if I'm not mistaken, it's your biggest hit on Spotify.
Yeah. It was just kind of like a luck of the draw a little bit, just like with timing and things. It was when Spotify was a lot easier to get streams on and stuff, and met some people that had some cool playlists and helped them set up businesses, and then they put me in it. And yeah, long story short, it worked out well for the song.
So I guess I don't know how to frame this question exactly because it's probably not an easy one to answer.
Mhm.
But in terms of seriousness versus silliness,
Mhm.
like what's your what do you go for? I mean, I guess it depends on the song, right?
Yeah. It depends on the song. I'd say like every song I've released has some sort of like serious element, but I try to make it really like cryptid. So it's not super obvious, because I think for people that like want to find that type of thing, that makes it kind of fun. So they can be like, what's he talking about? But then on the surface, like and like a lot of the punchlines are humorous. And if you just want to listen to it because you think it's funny, like that's great. Like I don't have like a major ego about like I need everyone to understand exactly what the song is about for me to be taken seriously as an artist. It's like at the end of the day, I just want to entertain. So if you like it for the comedic elements, if you like the lyrics, that's cool. I'm just, as long as you like it, right? Like that's the goal. So
That's the main thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I can definitely like pick up on some themes that you seem to kind of come around to.
Mhm.
You know, it's like you seem very much on the I don't know, it's like a lot of your lyrics are pretty like self-empowering, like very positive, very like encouraging, or I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it seems like there's a self-empowerment kind of message at the core of at least a handful of the songs that I heard.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree. It it's kind of, there's like a pattern that like I've like identified with a lot of my like even my writing style. So I'll start
Mm.
out and it's pretty empowering, and then the second verse starts out a little bit more like introspective and maybe like hypercritical, and then it works its way back up to the chorus, which then is
Hmm.
more like self-empowering. So it's almost like it starts at the top, dips down, and then kind of comes back up. I don't know
Huh.
why I write that way, but
Well,
it's the way
such
that
is
I
life.
yeah, right?
Such I mean,
Strikes and
that
gutters, yeah.
well, like, there was, like, something kinda hard to put my finger on as to what I was, I don't know, I guess, stirred by, right? Again, you throw it at me so quick with I've listened to a few of these songs probably 3, 4, 5 times now. I only found you, what, like, a week ago? Like, I pretty much messaged you right after checking out your Instagram profile and being like, "What the hell? Might as well ask."
Right.
And, so I'm like, I can tell there's a lot packed into these very quick most of your songs are minute and a half to maybe 2.5 minutes.
Right.
Uh,
Yep, that's about right.
so, I'm gonna have to kinda read your lyrics at some point because I'm sure there's stuff I've been missing, but I liked this track that you just called "It's Me," and I guess before I play it, I'll comment on your whole, like, motif, your whole style with the album artwork, the very, like, minimalistic sort of art that you do. Do you do that yourself, or is that your
Uh,
fiance, or
nope, I draw it all myself.
Cool.
I use, like, a pencil, then I Sharpie, then I scan in, and then I do all the computerized lines, vectorized stuff, and color
Mm.
it in, and yep.
Well, it's got a cohesiveness, right? I appreciate the it's like, as an artist, I can see that you've really dialed in what your style is, if
Right,
that
yeah. It took a while on that too, but it was, like, 2018, like, Cop the Fanny Pack was one of the first ones that followed that style.
Mm,
Um, I don't know if you can tell, but on that one, the lines aren't as nice. I just actually used the scanned in Sharpie lines, and so
mm.
everything's really, like, handcrafted, but,
Oh,
yeah, no, that style's been consistent. I kinda just landed on it and, um, yeah, I like it.
well, it's almost like I feel like a lot of your influences are, stuff that I like. I imagine you and I might be within a year or 2 of the same age, based on the music that I can see you using in some of your social media. Like, I told you I happened to find you. It was really random, but I it was Christmas time,
Mhm.
and I remembered that Reliant K has a Christmas album. And so I was listening to it, and then all of a sudden I just got curious. I'm like, I wonder what the Reliant K dudes are up to these days. Um, they've got to be in their 40s, maybe
Mhm.
even 50s. I don't know. And so I looked, I just searched, Reliant K on Instagram, and your video popped up. I don't mean to presume, but are you like a fan, or is that just one of the many bands that you happen to remember from back in the day? Because they were legit like my favorite.
They weren't like I wouldn't, like, go out and say, like, they were my favorite, but I definitely remember, like, listening to, like, Who I Am, like, Hates Who I've Been, and,
Yeah.
like, the Sadie Hawkins dance, of course, that one was, like, a staple I remember growing up, so, like, I had a few of their
Right, right.
songs for sure, and then, yeah, I made that video actually, it was about 9 months ago, I think, I posted it for the first time, and it did
Mm,
really well, and then, like, Reliant K posted it, and it was, like, super
mhm.
cool because, like, when the bands that, like, we listened to growing up, like, reach out, it's always, like, really, really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in December, I was kinda doing my, like, thinking about what I wanted to do for, like, 2024, and I'm like, "I'm just gonna repost all of the videos that went viral and just kinda see what happens," and then
Yeah.
it did even better than it did the first time, which was really cool,
Hmm.
because it led to things like this, so
Yeah, yeah, it's just a random thing. Like, I think I saw their sort of resharing of it, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Who's this goofball with the skates, with the Healy skates?"
Yeah.
So, are you strictly a musician, or do you do, any stand-up comedy or anything? Because like, a lot of your videos are funny as hell. It's that very dry type of humor, but, um, it tickles my funny bone.
I've never done stand-up, but, like, I do perform live. I haven't done it as much as I'd like to in the recent years, but I used to, like, all of
Mhm,
the time, back, like, in college and then just out of college, and it's kind of a little bit of that. Like, I
mhm.
just kinda, like, goof around and make jokes, and I'll cut a song in the middle and start talking to somebody, like, I definitely go for entertainment rather than just, like, strict musician, when I
Right.
perform, but I've never done, like, stand-up comedy standalone, I guess.
Well, it's almost the style of, like, I hope you don't mind drawing the connection, because
Mhm.
he's, you either love him or hate him, but, Dimitri Martin. That's who I thought of when I was like kind of seeing. Are you familiar?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you should check him out because he would do like kind of a stand-up routine, but it was very musical with silly songs. And but he had a very like almost a dark humor about him as well.
Mhm.
Which I'm not really saying you do. I wouldn't call your humor dark. It's just deadpan or like or I don't know what the word is exactly, but like I said, I think it's fun. I think it's hilarious. And I think if you wanted to put together like a 40-minute set, you could probably kick ass at a stand-up, comedy night.
Yeah, it'd be fun to try for sure. I know comedy's really,
Yeah.
really hard,
Yeah.
especially like
Yeah.
stand-up comedy, just because I mean, if you're bombing or it's not funny, people aren't as accepting. But that's with music too,
Yeah.
and I'm used to performing that way. So yeah, maybe someday.
Hmm. Well, I'll go ahead and play I'm Me because I think it's one of these songs that sort of maybe gets it a little more of the serious side of things, but again, it's not all one or the other with any of your music. But this one I really kind of took a liking to.
I don't even have to think, I just spit it and it goes. Hakalugi in the winter way my flow be looking froze. Fahrenheit, growing taller, I'ma go up like my toes. Built a whole factory, I ain't talking about my nose. If you know, then you know. Hardly structured, mostly pros. Big buck, no racks. Hit these beats like do-si-dos. Trying to run up out the office, got me feeling like I'm Mose. Tried to kick the habit, buried it, but wouldn't decompose. What? Compositions from the soul. Trying to get my fill, hope the surface tension holds. Heelys on my feet, I'ma roll up like a hose. Things are working out, I'm feeling awesome like I'm supposed, yeah. Rock the aura cycle close. Watching all these people walk my old recycle roads. Turn the other cheek, I have no time to go expose. I'ma explode while these others implode. I'm me. I'm gonna be whatever I wanna be. I'm me. I'm gonna be whatever I wanna be. I'm me. People consume with an image, will do anything in their power to get it. Excel in my silo, I'm feeling so gifted. Make people latch on like the sheet that is fitted. Mattress, I'm springing towards the top, game based don't need no practice. Build a dynamic, see me do it, then the static. Big moves online, small life is just a catfish. I do what I say, I make the play, it's automatic. Still feeling clutch, don't need no manual. People don't understand, and that's understandable. Start to show some light, don't wanna blind, I keep it gradual. Got a lot to say, but for now I'll keep it laughable. Go ahead and chuckle. Can't lock me in, seatbelt without the buckle. If you want my time, the ROI has to be double. Things might crash and burn, but I'll emerge out of the rubble. I'm me. I'm gonna be whatever I wanna be. I'm me. I'm gonna be whatever I wanna be. I'm me. I'm gonna be whatever I wanna be. I'm me. I'm gonna be whatever I wanna be. I'm me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say that one's a bit more on the serious side, right? Like, I enjoy the hell out of it.
Thanks.
I guess what occurred to me as I was reading through the lyrics, and listening to the song, a lot of your lyrics are kind of free association, right? You go quickly kind of from one thing to the next, making points along the way. Like I
Right.
see the poetry of it, the fact that it all leads somewhere. It's not one-liners over and over. It's kind of a train of thought, if you will.
They all kind of like stack on, and I do it just kind of, that's the way I write. It's just the way
Mhm.
it's kind of always been. But like I say stuff about, I'm trying to think of like one of the lines. Will do anything in their power to get it. Excel. And then Excel is like, Excel Energy is like a local power company, or maybe it's national. I guess I don't actually know how far Excel reaches, but like all of it usually happens like that, where it's like there's like a punchline and then it leads into the next one and they all kind of like build off of each other. Um, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's kind of the way it's happened for a long time. And it's just the easiest way for me, I guess.
Yeah, I liked the beginning of the second. Well, I guess it wasn't quite the beginning, but well, yeah, I'll just read the first maybe 6 lines here. People consumed with an image will do anything in their power to get it. Excel in my silo, I'm feeling so gifted. People or make people latch on like a sheet that is fitted. See, it's a good thing I'm not a rapper, bro.
You
And then you
got
just
it. You're
go
on the spot. I get
and
it.
then you just go mattress, right? Sheet that is fitted, mattress. I'm springing towards the top, game face, don't need no practice. So yeah, I mean, I like the wordplay of it, right? Like I'm a bit of a writer. I'm not musically inclined at all. So I decided, well, screw it. I'll try to write myself a book. And so I wrote
Nice.
my first novel about, I don't know, 9 months ago or something. And enjoyed the process, enjoyed like being able to play around with words, right? Uh, in sort of a similar way to how you do. I liked playing with sort of sentence structure and the use of I'd kind of play around with all kinds of different devices like homophones and similes of various types and words that can have double entendre type meanings, and
Right.
it's a fun way to try to write, the wordplay. I'm
Wordplay
all
is, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And congrats. That's
Yeah.
super awesome.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Trying to work up the gumption to start on the second. Took a lot of work. Took a lot of
Yeah, I can't
energy.
imagine. That's that's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And trying to do a, twice a week podcast and work a full-time job and write a book.
That's very busy.
Yeah, but you get it, man. So like you said, you and your fiance kind of work on this stuff like every week. Is this like a Saturday type of ritual or?
It depends on the time of year. So I
Mm.
live in Minnesota. It's snowy right now, and it gets dark at like 4:45. And so it is more of a weekend thing right now, and ideally weekend without snow. But during the summer, when it stays light out until like, 8, 9 o'clock, then it can be after work, just kind of whenever. And it's definitely a lot easier. The winters are the hardest time to do it. Just because we like to film in new places and we like to film outdoors. But like when there's snow, like an edit or two in the snow is kind of funny. But like if you do it
Mhm.
every single time, you can't really do anything. I just feel like it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
work. And so
Well, I've
it's tricky.
noticed you seem to have done a couple of location shoots. I saw some action from a beach,
Yeah.
and I don't know. So, do you make a point if you ever go on trips? Make a point to film a little bit of Healy action just so you have like footage to work with, or
Yeah, usually, we don't travel a ton, but,
Mhm.
I started, like, a series called, like, Destination Heelys for anytime we go on vacation, and we'll usually just try to take at least, like, 30 minutes to an hour or just do it throughout the trip if it's just easy, and we'll film in places, and sometimes we're like, "Let's hit the big stuff," and sometimes we're like, "Let's film at all of the most normal things ever." So it's like we went to this place and just did the same things because that's kinda fun too, so, yeah, it just depends how we're feeling.
Have you played around with doing it like in crowded areas and getting some reactions? Because I feel like that could be pretty rich.
Potentially, we've thought about it. I just
Yeah,
For me, it's like, I'm, like, old, so I'm, like, I just don't wanna be, like, in people's way and, like, ruining
fair.
people's, like, time. That's why I usually try to, like, be
Yeah.
in, like, more secluded areas just 'cause it's like, if people are trying to, like, enjoy something and I'm rolling around and I'm bumping into people, like, I don't wanna do that, so
Mhm. That's fair.
maybe time and place, yeah.
It would depend on the time and place. I'm like, if you were
Mhm.
at the Santa Monica boardwalk or somewhere, where it was halfway appropriate, right?
Right.
Some but I get you. You don't wanna harsh anybody else's mellow.
Yeah, I try to be pretty
Yeah.
courteous. We
Yeah.
did film, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame back in, like, 2020.
Mm.
Um, we were
I
down
you know what?
there
I
and
saw that. I did see that. Yeah.
yeah, so that one I was like, "Whatever, like, we're here, no one's
Yeah.
gonna remember me or care because there's just people doing stuff there always," and so, yeah.
So, can I ask, I know it's a little personal, but how old are
Mhm.
you? I'm just curious.
I just turned 29, like, a month and a half ago.
The way you said "I'm old" was so convincing. I'm like, "Damn, maybe this dude's older than me by, like, a significant margin." But no, I'm 30, bro. It's all
Oh,
good.
nice. Okay,
We're
yeah.
not that old. Come on.
I've said I was old since I was, like, 25. Like, I just don't care. I'm old, it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just holding on. I like being young. What can I say?
I did too, but there's some good it's pros and cons, right?
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, I would almost say that one of the themes I almost pulled out of your content is almost, uh, remaining young in some ways, like the Healy as, like, a symbol of childlike, playfulness.
I'd agree. That's probably, like, part of it if I had to, like, say what healing was in terms of, like, what stance it took, if I
Hmm,
have to do
yeah,
that.
right.
It'd be yeah, like, just do what you like. Like, just because you get old doesn't mean you have to, like, hate everything and be
And be
divisive and
lame.
stuff and be
Yeah,
lame and just it's like, you
yeah,
don't have to, like, graduate college and age 20 years immediately. Like, still have
right.
fun. I mean, be responsible enough, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. That's definitely a piece of it.
Well, I feel like maybe that would be a good kinda lead into No Pressure. Again,
Oh,
this
cool.
was this was one that I really kinda liked. Um, when I say it that way, it sounds like a half-hearted compliment.
Oh,
This is
that's
one I
okay.
really liked.
I talk the same way. No, I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah. Here, just a moment. I always struggle with the computer business here, but I'm getting better. The whole
All
the
good.
whole live the live show thing adds a bit of, you gotta really be on your game because there's no turning back, brother.
Right.
All
No
right, here
no
we go.
pressure. Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breaking out the mold, I just think there's more in store for me. Watching people fold, I guess we have different priorities. Exploring me, figure out my life, that means much more to me. Respectful young man who has a problem with authority. It's boring me, so I just pull the subtle misdirection, a deflection to a place where I'll embrace my imperfections. A collection of my thoughts, this is all just an extension of where my mind is at. Every day I'm decompressing. Letting out carbon dioxide. Life had me on the ropes, but I'll never be hogtied. Haven't felt this good in a long time. Realized that it'd always be the wrong time. So I made the jump, take what's mine like checkers. I don't care if it goes smoothly, I don't care about the texture. Used to read those textbooks, fell asleep right into lectures. Told me shape up like some sketchers, work my way out of the pressure. No pressure, no pressure, no pressure.
No pressure.
Make it happen, no excuses, no pressure.
No pressure.
They're all laughing, you can do this, no pressure.
No pressure.
Don't lose it, start the movement, no pressure. No pressure, no pressure, no pressure.
No pressure.
Make it happen, no excuses, no pressure.
No pressure.
They're all laughing, you can do this, no pressure.
No pressure.
Don't lose it, start the movement, no pressure.
No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure.
Man, so am I crazy or is there like a constant push and pull with that song where it's like I would have to look back at the lyrics, but um it almost feels like you're saying no pressure and then you're like, but look at all this pressure.
Yep.
Did I Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it talks about how a lot of people quit when things get hard, and, then it's just talking about, like, yeah, make it happen, no excuses, you gotta do this, but also there's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure. Yeah. Yep.
I don't see any lyrics in in this
Oh,
video?
if you go, yeah, shoot. It would
It's
probably
all
be
good.
like in the song part where it's just the album art.
Yeah,
I must
right.
not have put it in there.
Yeah, that
Oopsie.
was the official music video right there, and
Yeah, I don't know why
I
you put
like
official. Everyone does, so I just
yeah,
do
everybody does. Yeah.
it. They know it's official. Yep.
So, I mean, where'd that one come from, if I can ask?
Um, I think it's just a constant struggle, right? When you want to do something that's not like a traditional career path. And so that's kind of
Mm,
where I think a lot of my music has that like an element of that in it, where it's like that struggle of trying to fit into like cultural norms in terms of professions and things like that.
mm,
And not wanting to do that. I've never wanted to do that once. I've known since I was like 10 years old that I wanted to be a musician and entertainer. And so I've
mm,
struggled with it
cool.
though, right? I've had normal jobs and the song's just kind of
Yeah.
about the pressure of all of that.
So, are you making a living at it at this point or
Yeah.
partially?
So I decided to do this. I had some money saved from my last job, and I think it's been about a year and a half now that I've been doing this full time. Um, and there's good and bad, right? Some months are great, some months are horrible. I'm still kind of figuring it all out because it's just been like a year and a half of doing it full time. But all things considered, it's getting better, I'd say, by the month. So I'm hoping that's promising. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, man. Well, I can't promise you're gonna get a million new followers from my listener base. As you can see, we had a live listener, but they bailed. It's all
That's okay.
good though. It's all good. But I get it, man. It's like sort of the grind of the anti-grind.
Mhm.
You know, it's like you don't wanna live that hamster wheel kind of lifestyle, but like to go a different way is a whole grind of its own. Um, yeah, so I guess I'm just curious, man. So like are you getting like Instagram sort of revenue? Is it direct sales? Is it merch? Is it a combination of things? Like how you making that work?
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge of things for sure. So one of my biggest sources is Healy's commission. So I have like an affiliate link where if people use that link or they use my code, I get like a portion of the sale. It doesn't cost anyone anything more. They just kind of give it over. And since I've been doing it for so long, they're pretty nice with like the percentage for their program and stuff. So that's helpful. Otherwise, merch sales, streaming revenue, live events I get paid for. I do like some DJing on the side. Um, I can't DJ. I just
Cool.
have a sound system and play off Spotify, but it works. And like corporate sponsorships are good too. Like I recently did like a clothing collab thing where I wore their clothes and made a video for like Rip and Dip. Um, and so different things like that also help. And so it's just kind of all of that together.
Very cool. Yeah, that's rad. I think you gotta kind of keep your eggs in different baskets.
Oh, for sure.
At least when you're at this, kind of mid-level that it appears that you are, not to besmirch it at all. Like
No,
I'm
that's totally
impressed.
fair.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm like working my way to that if I can. Um, but yeah, man, it's I see that you're really putting in the time. Like I said, I'm just amazed with your output and and the quality. Like it's not just thrown together stuff. It's took some real, you know, elbow grease. I can see it.
Yeah, it's it's a process, especially on the music side. The Healy stuff, we kind of have it's a well-oiled machine, and we still like I like to like brainstorm and come up with new stuff so it doesn't get flat. But yeah,
Mhm.
with music, it's definitely a lot of long hours just working out kinks and learning and yeah.
So I'll probably ask you again, like at the very end, but if someone say wanted to support you, where would they go?
Um, so I'm on all like music streaming platforms under Jamesg, all one word. It's me wearing like winter like bomber hats. And yeah, that's a free way to support. If you listen to the music, they give you like a third of a penny on most of the platforms. So it's not a ton, but like it helps. And then if enough people do it, then it goes into like algorithmic playlists and it can all just kind of compound from there. So that's a good free way. Otherwise, just on social medias, it's at James Makes Music. On all social medias, except for Facebook, it's Jamesg Music. There was another James that made music, and it was a whole thing, but James Makes Music in like 99% of places. And just following, liking, commenting, all of that stuff helps because it just keeps me in favorable terms with like Instagram and all of the other platforms. If they see
Right.
people engage and they stay on the platform, when they watch you, they show you to more people.
That's a thing I hear a lot of creators say, like you really can't overstate how big a deal a simple like is.
Right. Yeah. It all goes.
I almost
And
said like, and I'm like, how millennial. I got to cut that out of my vocabulary. The
it's
frivolous,
tough.
but sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's a real thing. A good example of that would be my Instagram versus my TikTok. So like Instagram is very, very engaged. I actually have more followers on TikTok, but they're all from like a long time ago. So on Instagram, I have a very engaged audience, and I'm super, super grateful. And I get quite a few views there. But like on TikTok, I don't get nearly as many views. I still have some really like loyal people that comment, and like I super, super appreciate that. But just it kind of fell out of favor like with their algorithm and their For You page because it stopped getting engagement, which is partially my fault. I pushed music too hard. And that's kind of it. I think I confused things, but yeah, it's crazy to show just like what that can do when people are engaged and you kind of build like a fun community of people.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, it seems like once you reach a certain critical mass, I guess maybe the game changes, right? It's how to maintain it. You know, you can't just plateau in this game, right? You got to keep growing. But it seems like you're playing the game pretty well. You just kind of figure this stuff out along the way, or did you ever have any kind of social media mentor or anything like that?
No, I watched like a lot of like marketing and social media marketing, like videos and stuff, just to kind of get like best practices and things along those lines. It all really started with TikTok, in terms of like things growing quickly. I had a friend who I knew in high school, and he was on there with one of his friends, and they were doing like singing covers and stuff, and they got like 2 million followers in like a few months, and they're like, you got to do the Healy stuff on TikTok, James. It'll work well. And I was like, no, I'm old. Like I played that whole game like everyone does our age when they need to get into TikTok.
Bah humbug. Yeah.
Right. And they're like, just give it a try. And my first video got like 185,000 views in like a week. And I'm like,
wow.
Oh, okay. Cause like I had been doing it for about a year and a half on Instagram. But nothing was really happening. And so I'm like, wait, I can make videos that are like a fifth of the length, so way easier to make. I could just have to make them vertical, and that was that. So I just started posting there like every single day, and then someone from BuzzFeed posted me on Twitter, and then it blew up there, and that's kind of when like everything snowballed, kind of into like what it is today. So,
it's awesome. That's really cool, man. Congrats.
Thanks. It's very random, but it's cool.
Dude, it's like the most random, but like, you know, I actually make a specific point. Part of why I invited you on was I was curious if you were making a living at it or not. Something I try to make a theme of my interviews is not exclusively, but like a lot of the people I choose to interview make a living doing something different, you know, whatever that might be. So, you know, often it's musicians, it's artists, it's stuff like that. But, you know, I've had everything from jujitsu, you know, sort of trainers to, I don't know what the most random, I knew this one girl, I interviewed her who travels around the country in a really sweet RV.
Oh,
and
nice.
she makes her living doing, I think like college recruiting, but she does it remotely. So she just travels year round. And, so I'm all about it, man. The alternative lifestyle. Like I was talking with some folks the other day about the movie Office Space, and how when I watched that as like a, I don't know, 11 or 12-year-old, it's just like, man, like that is not the life I want to live, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, so apparently you've wanted to do this since you were a kid, man. Since since your first pair of Heelys. How cool is
Right.
that?
Yeah, it really came full circle.
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah, who would have thought?
You know, they used to tell us you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket, learn your times tables. Man, when you were ripping down the hallways of your middle school on your Heelys getting yelled at, I bet who's laughing now, right?
Exactly. Take that.
Speaking of laughing, okay. I really enjoyed your little 3-song album, Comedian.
Thanks.
So it's only 3 songs and what? LOL, ROFL, as in raffle or rolling on the floor laughing, and ha 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 ha.
Mhm.
And or did I put one too many ha's in there?
One too little, but that's okay. It's a
One
lot of
too
them.
few. Okay. And dude, as I was like trying to, I'm like, I can't play every one of these dudes' songs. So I gotta like make some decisions here. I still can't make my mind up. I really liked both Raffle and ha 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 ha. So which would you prefer? I'll ask you.
I don't care. Ha 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 ha. Let's do that one.
Okay. All right, cool. Just a second. Doing the computer stuff. Here we go.
Another moment gone, another lost chapter. Anxious about the future, but nothing really matters. Will I crash and burn? Will I climb that ladder? We all think too much, cover up with laughter. Ha ha, 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 ha 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 ha. I'm stressed out, I need a day at the spa. I'm just following these dreams like the law. Trying to hold them up like a bra, damn. I'm feeling fine, next second on my mind is a catch-22. Forge this mental paradigm. I'm inclined to bust out, but it's years in the making. Conditioned to be fine with the time that I'm wasting. Ambiguity in the air has me pacing. No control over the unknowns that we're facing. Yeah, damn, trying to face it, but I'm growing impatient. Feel the strain of tally days with the pain just feels so painless. Another moment gone, another lost chapter. Anxious about the future, but nothing really matters. Will I crash and burn? Will I climb that ladder? We all think too much, cover up with laughter. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha. Numb, but I try to laugh it off. Maybe I'm just being too soft. Life happens, takes hold. I turn my head and I cough. Always in my course, so shy. People on the silence trying to block. Don't really understand why they try to block. I guess they wish I didn't have what I got. This messed up plot, I've sold myself. These novice stitches hold my health. Internalize what I've been dealt. Time is money, don't know my wealth. It's all just a flash, a drop in a bucket. Time moves fast, I hate and I love it. So concerned with determining my budget, even though I know I can't overcome it. Another moment gone, another lost chapter. Anxious about the future, but nothing really matters. Will I crash and burn? Will I climb that ladder? We all think too much, cover up with laughter. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha.
I guess I just appreciate the simplicity of it, of your music in general. Like, it's usually just catchy beats with good bars, and a good hook.
Thanks.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah, I don't know. I can do more complicated things. I just like typically like when I'm working through, I'll be like, what can I do that's like different? And I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Just like make something that's catchy and fun. And like those are the songs that end up coming out more times than not. And so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't find point to add in a ton of things, I guess, on every song.
So do you have any intention of doing like a full length album? It seems like that's not something you've done yet, unless I'm mistaken.
I have, but it's been a long time, and you
Okay.
don't have to listen to it. It's really old, and the engineering's really bad, in my opinion. I made one in
Okay.
like 2017. It's the earliest music I have out right now. It's called Get Out, and I was like
Okay.
trying to flex, like I can make all kinds of different music.
Mm.
Yeah, 6, 7 years ago. It's old, but I did that, and then I did an EP in 2018 called Dumb. I actually like that one.
Mm.
That one's withstood the test of time decently.
Okay. Okay. I'll
That one
check
was
that one
5
out.
songs. Yeah, that one's alright. But, in terms of, like, a future one, I think I just wanna wait until there's, like, more of a demand for it. Like, I think my social media, like, following is largely based around Heelys, which totally makes sense, and so, eventually, like, once I kind of, I think, build more of a music audience, hopefully, or people kinda start to, like, appreciate both a little bit more, it'd be cool to do an album. But for right now, I just like to kinda do them one off, because I think that's just kinda how the world works. It's very quick, and people kinda see things and then move on, whereas, like, an album, I'd wanna make sure there's people that actually, like, wanna sit with it and stuff like that, so
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
yeah. I even know what the next album is gonna be called, like, I've known for
Do you?
years, I just have to wait. Yep.
Mm. Mhm. So, what kind of gigs do you play, man? Are they like I'm just curious, it's kind of a different niche type of music, sort of, I guess, but I don't know. So just kind of open mic stuff or
Um,
events and
I've done a ton of different, like, things, like, over the years, I've done a ton of random things. I've played, a lot of hip hop shows.
okay.
I have one in Duluth, Minnesota, up, like, by Lake Superior, like, in February that I'm doing. I went to college up there, so that's where I did, like, the majority of my live performances, but I
Mhm.
performed at, like, roller derbies. I was, like, the halftime
Oh,
events at one point.
interesting. That's cool.
Um, yeah, I've played at, like, a variety of breweries and bars and things like that. I've done quite a few open mics, performed at a masquerade ball. A
Wow.
lot of my music's clean, so I've done, like,
Mhm.
I've done kids shows a couple of times. Um, Trying to think of other interesting ones. I was on America's Got Talent, like, in 2020.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not, like, reliving it, like, the yearbook has been closed on that, but that one was, like, definitely interesting for sure.
Did you make
Um,
it past the first round
no.
or no?
They recruited me just so they could buzz me off, so that was fun, but free trip, so
Bastards.
yeah,
Well,
damn
yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, I'm trying to think. That I don't know. Yeah, I play around. I like to do, like,
Sure.
hip hop shows, but I do variety shows too because the
Yeah.
music can kind of fit in other genres a little bit, so
Yeah, well, it's yeah, like you said, a lot of it's clean, so, that opens you up to a whole slew of different types of events,
Mhm.
um, but that's cool, man. I respect what you're doing, like I said, it kinda caught my eye, because it's unique and it's done well. I'm I'm no expert at anything, but I feel like I have an eye for things that are done with, you know, a little touch above the rest kind of quality. And in like the social media game, there's just so much garbage, dude. Like that's why when I see something kind of neat that, piques my interest, a lot of times I'll reach out and try to make contact with the folks. So good on you for actually responding to your DMs. Like
Oh, yeah.
not everybody does that.
Yeah, I respond to, like, as much as I can because I just
Mhm.
yeah, I think that helps build community and, like, also,
Mhm.
I'm just, like, I'm a normal person, I don't think of myself as anything more than that by
Mhm.
any means, and so, the only time
Right.
I don't reply is, like, if a video goes, like, super viral, like, there's one that's been still, like, going, and it's up to, like, 9.5 million views, and which is super cool, but, like, some of the comments are just there's so many of them, and some of them are so repetitive, like, I try to, like
Mhm.
them or if they're but, like, it's just tough.
So which video is that that's still rocking?
It's the Just a Dream one, which was also a repost
Hmm.
from like May. So it got like 7 million views in May, and now it's up to like 9.5 the second time, which is just crazy. I don't know why that one's getting pushed so hard, but
Yeah.
it's
And that's
cool.
not, that's Biggie Smalls, right? That's
Nelly.
Nelly.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, you're thinking of it like it was all a dream. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
it was
no.
only just a dream. That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That video it was just like a funny one that we made just in a parking lot and
Goofing, man, goofing around.
yeah.
That's I told you when we, when we were DMing, I'm like, it reminds me of me and my homies in middle school just clowning, just doing silly shit at the playground or whatever. Being goofs.
Mhm.
And it did it kind of like but that mixed with the Reliant K music like sent me on a freaking whirlwind. Like I had a flashback kind of moment where I was just like, oh my god, I remember what that was like.
Yeah,
um
it fits
yeah,
the vibe well. As you probably noticed, I use a lot of, like, older music from when
yeah.
we were younger just 'cause I still listen to a lot of it,
Hmm.
and then on top of that, it just kinda fits the vibe. I do some new stuff, but a lot of it's, like, old punk rock and, like, that pop
Hmm.
punk and a lot of, like, hip hop, so
Yeah, I mean the ones that stuck out to me were like Yellow Card,
yep,
obviously Reliant K, Fallout Boy. It was like that was all the stuff I listened to. And it's a trip because like I don't listen to that stuff much, if ever, anymore.
right.
But just recently, I guess maybe a little wave of nostalgia came over me. So I did, like I said, I kind of was like, oh, I'm gonna listen to some Reliant K, and I'm like, you know what, this like style of music ain't bad. That pop punk kind of thing. So I'm
It's
curious,
our
like who.
generation's, like, 80s rock.
Yeah,
Right,
totally,
yeah.
totally. Did you happen to see there was like a meme floating around where it was Marty McFly, Back to the Future, and he's doing his whole thing where he's looking around like in astonishment, and he's like, it must be a dream. And it's right behind him are like maybe 20 different album arts that all came out. It says something about, how I feel realizing all these albums are 20 years old now. And it was like, Say Anything. It was The Used. Uh, you know, yeah, I could name off 10 of them if I thought really hard about it, but
Yeah.
it was like all these like quintessential albums from sort of when I and you were kind of coming of age. It's like, darn, it made me all of a sudden be like you, like I'm old.
Yeah. It hits you sometimes, like, "Oh, yeah, yep."
Yeah. What are you gonna do though?
It just happens. It
It
just
just
happens, and it's
happens.
okay. Yeah. There's no reason to fuss because it's just gonna keep happening.
So do you ever like travel around far for shows, or you pretty much stick local?
Um, so kind of a little bit loaded. So, like, my girlfriend at the time, now fiance, in 2018, we bought a conversion fan, and my dad and I, like, kinda worked on fixing it up, and we actually traveled, like, across the country and did, like, open mics and saw national parks and did stuff like that, and so got out that time, which was pretty cool. Um, Other than that, it's pretty much local, though. Um I'd like to go on tour. That's like a bucket list item for me because live performing is one of my favorite things to do. So hopefully someday I'll like be able to get on a tour and then maybe have my own. I'd love to do that, but as of now, it's just like building that local resume.
I saw pictures of the van. It's a pretty good looking van, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I bought it for like
Yeah,
really cheap too. I mean, we had to do
yeah.
some work on it, but nothing major.
I'm a big fan of like older vehicles, and especially if they're still kind of clean looking,
Oh yeah.
and I'd love to get a van that you could travel in, with a big bed in the back. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's not fun for like your wallet, because gas
Right,
mileage is horrible.
right.
But, yeah, I don't know, if you wanted the best of both worlds, like custom Astro van, that'd be the way to go because they get like
Yeah,
20-ish on the highway, and I
right.
mean, less space, but if you built a bed in there, it'd be okay.
As opposed to, I'm guessing you're getting all of 8 or 9.
Maybe like 12 on the highway if yeah,
Yeah. I
that's
get it,
okay.
man.
Mhm.
I'm a gardener by trade, so
Nice.
I drive a pickup truck, and it's on a good day it'll get 11.
Right.
It's pretty depressing. It's like
Yeah.
$100 in gas and it's gone in a week.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
That's
Yep.
one of the benefits of working from home with this is like it's like every other week I fill up usually, and it's like thank goodness because it's spendy.
Yeah, spendy for sure. So one of the things that I saw you put out that really made me laugh. I don't know if you noticed, you mentioned that you had listened to an episode or two, but recently I've been doing a once a week show where we kind of break down like news events, and we talk about all sorts of conspiracy theories and try to make fun of stuff and point out what might have truth to it and this and that. So we actually did cover the train derailment that occurred back in Ohio, whatever it was.
Right. Yeah.
I saw that you have a song called Derailed, and I
Mhm.
wondered if you put this out within that, when that event happened, because it was all over the news, big train derailment. Or was this something that you had created beforehand? Like, I don't know.
It was beforehand.
Really?
Yes, yeah. The song it had nothing to do with that. That wasn't even like top of mind when I wrote it.
Funny, because it
Yeah.
applies, dude. It applies.
Yeah. I built
Hang
content
on.
around it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, this one, I mean, this one really made me laugh. So I'm gonna play your little intro, and then hopefully I can do the transition better than the beginning, the first song I tried to play. But here we go.
Did you know that there are thousands of train derailments each year? Neither did I, and that's why I decided to do something about it. My name is James, and my song, Derail, was made to spread awareness about train derailments. If I'm being honest, I was pretty nervous to take a stand with my music. I know how things can get twisted, and I was worried that my message could get off track. The rumor mill has been generating false narratives about the song, saying that it's about not sweating the little things and eliminating self-doubt. I'm here to tell you that this is incorrect. Derail is a song about train derailments and nothing more, and I don't understand how anyone could think otherwise. I'm starting to worry that common sense has left the station.
It's so dramatic, bro.
Thanks. Yeah. I
And
tried to
here
like
we go. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say one thing I've done, and then I don't know if anyone. I just want to ask if you noticed because I always wonder if people
Okay.
notice.
Okay.
So the background music for that video, did you notice it's the same music as the actual
As the
song? It's just
song,
the
yeah.
slowed, but yeah. I never knew if anyone like caught that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Obviously, dude. Obvious. 100%. That's why I've been trying to make it like an instant transition to the song.
Right. Oh, and I ruined it. I ruined it this time.
It's okay. No, but that was abundantly obvious to me. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I was like, I
Like a
just never
slowed
knew.
down, quieter,
Right. I just like stripped it down and just made it piano and like a little
Yeah.
bit of like stringy stuff. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Definitely.
you.
I mean, yeah, that seems
I just
like,
always wondered, and I've never asked anybody, so I figured now
Oh,
would be a
dude.
good time.
Well, I'm a weirdo that like really pays close attention to shit. So I don't know. To me, it was really obvious, but then again, I'm like slightly autistic probably. So I don't know. But no, I imagine most people would appreciate that if they, care enough to listen.
Have to catch it, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll go ahead and play. I don't know if I'll play the whole song, but here we go.
Sounds good.
Shake it off, take the loss. There's no coffin, just a cough. Throw it soft, off the toss. Be okay with floppy sauce. Things don't really matter how we think they do. Sometimes have the answers, sometimes feeling like a nincompoop, and that's fine. Fixation on missteps is a waste of my time. Feel like I'm too late, but the sun will still shine. dig deep beneath the surface, I'ma get mine. Tangled in my thoughts, but I'm unwind. There's a big picture, but I was too caught up in the details. Wasted energy on those who wanted to see me fail. Things were stacking up in boxes of old burner email. Lost the train of thought, it's off the tracks, I made it derail. Too caught up in the details. Lost the train of thought, it's off the tracks, I made it derail. Locked myself out of that old burner email. Lost the train of thought, it's off the tracks, I made it derail. Mine was spammy, I got antsy. Wanted to rub it, didn't want to pull a hammy. Wanted to get a grip, but didn't want to get too handsy. Too much pressure, yeah, my hands were getting clammy. It's a much brighter world when you're present in the journey. Well before you found the pearls, life can swirl, but not much is important. Don't contort or try to morph it. Really, it's just how you sort it. Had some fucks, now there's a shortage. Sounding like a nonconformist. I almost missed the boat because I got lost on the portage. Damn. There's a big picture, but I was too caught up in the details. Wasted energy on those who wanted to see me fail. Things were stacking up in boxes of old burner email. Lost the train of thought, it's off the tracks, I made it derail. Too caught up in the details. Lost the train of thought, it's off the tracks, I made it derail. Locked myself out of that old burner email. Lost the train of thought, it's off the tracks, I made it derail.
You want to take one guess what my favorite line was?
Is it had some fucks, now there's a shortage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was about to say you don't know me terribly well at this point, but yeah, that's the one. I guess you know me just well enough. Yeah, that one made me laugh. I'm like, had some fucks, now there's a shortage, sounding like a nonconformist. That's it's a simple line, but it tickles me. It tickles me. I love it. I fucking love it, man.
Thanks.
So like what, I hate to even ask, but like if you could put it in a sentence or two, like what's your whole like philosophy? I mean, I guess your music kind of spells it out, but
Just like about like life or like
yeah,
music
yeah,
or
just in general. Like what if someone had a gun to your head and said, what's the key to living good? What would you tell them?
I think just like treat people well and like respect people's differences as long as their differences don't like directly harm other people. I think just like find those things that bring you joy. And if you can make a career out of it, great, but don't lose those things, even if your career has to be something other than that. And yeah, just like be nice. I think be nice is what I want to end with.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that, you know?
No, simple and to the point.
I don't know if you're religious or anything, but I think Jesus seemed like a pretty all right dude, and that was pretty much the gist of his whole shtick, if I'm not mistaken.
He like treated people like how he wanted to be treated, and that's like the main thing, right? That's like the golden rule. So I mean, like,
yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not like overly religious, but like that's a good rule. Like I'll give it that for sure. So
for sure, bro. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Well, dude, if you ever do make that tour happen, I gotta say it's a bit of a pipe dream of mine to eventually throw something of an easy peasy festival.
Oh, cool.
If I can build this thing into something that would make that worth doing. So you're one of a handful of other musicians that I have now had on the show, and it's always, I guess if that day ever comes, I would love to have you on the stage. And if you're ever coming through Indiana in general, man, would love to come see you perform.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. Definitely like always looking to perform and stuff. So yeah, if we could work it out, I'd love to.
Sweet. Well, hope for the best.
Right.
I figure I've only got one more song on my list. So with your permission, I'm going to play Back and Forth.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Just one moment. if I was thinking 2 steps ahead, I would have this stuff lined up, but
That's what we're talking. I get how it goes.
all right, here we go.
Yeah, check. Hey. Been a renaissance, people wanna rent the sauce. Been a boss, paid my dues, but I couldn't defend the cost. Friends of frost, chill with their careers as inspiration. I'm trying to make a splash, fields with too much irrigation. Cannonballed into the water, didn't check the depths. Odds weren't really in my favor, but I kept the bet. Always moved a little quicker, yeah, I leapt some steps. Tried to keep me in check, but I wrecked the net. I don't fret about shit, I make it fall in place. Flushing out deterrents, things and people, yeah, it's all the same. Caught the blame, honestly, the guilt, it kept me off my base. Lost the race, but covering it up, I got an honest face. Losses aren't really losses if you understand the causes. I made it through the boost so I could get to the applauses. Implausible, but I made this possible. Consistent with my craft, I see a lot of others stop and go. I ain't stopping. People weren't around when my shit was flopping. Now they come around cause I got my shit popping. It goes so back and forth, see 'em rocking. I ain't stopping. People weren't around when my shit was flopping. Now they come around cause I got my shit popping. It goes so back and forth, I just keep rocking. Yeah, hey. Rocking like a baby in a cradle. Sleeping on my movements till I'm on an upward angle. I don't care if we were tied, I don't care if we were tangled. If you stood up and walked out, you lost your spot at the table. Willing and able, I just need some lucky bounces. I hop up on the beat and I give it 16 ounces. I pound it. Sometimes leave myself dumbfounded. Surrounded by doubt, but I find my way around it. Yeah. Done with biting tongue, coming off as tongue in cheek. Hardly ever speak my mind, but people think I love to speak. Always staying grounded, well aware of what is under feet. But if you keep on poking, good luck with trying to plug the leak. Most people least, they don't want to commit. They hate their wardrobe, yeah, they're throwing a fit. I've been gearing up for an all-out blitz. I'm running, and withstanding the hits. I ain't stopping. People weren't around when my shit was flopping. Now they come around cause I got my shit popping. It goes so back and forth, see 'em rocking. I ain't stopping. People weren't around when my shit was flopping. Now they come around cause I got my shit popping. It goes so back and forth, I just keep rocking.
Right on, man. That so I feel like I might have picked up on a reference when you said dumbfounded. Was that just saying dumbfounded, or was that a reference to another rapper?
That was just saying it. It wasn't a reference. Who do you think it was a reference
Okay.
to?
Well, there was a rapper I was familiar with when I was in college, Dumbfounded.
Dumbfounded. Right. Okay. I've heard the name. That's what I was like. I asked the question. I'm like, oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
as soon as I saw that, I'm like, well, maybe he's a fan because there's actually, I see a connection. I remember, what was it? Wax and Dumbfounded and Watsky. And there were
Yep.
like one or two other guys that were kind of a hip hop crew.
Mhm.
And I almost think they did sort of similar stuff to what you're doing, where there's a lot of humorousness to it.
Right.
But very much still taking the music side of things very seriously. I have no idea what those guys are up to now. But I remember they
Some of
had
them
some
are still
funny.
touring for sure. Yeah, like
Yeah,
Watsky, I
yeah.
think was just on tour, and Wax, I'm not sure, but yeah, I've heard some of those names for sure.
Speaking of guys who could talk quick, Watsky.
That was his
It's like,
shtick at the start. The
oh
kid
yeah,
from Rap
dude.
Fast. He was like all
Oh
over like mainstream media and stuff with that when he
yeah,
did that. Yeah.
yeah. I think he won like a youth poetry contest, and that kind of like set off his sort of, I don't know, moderate stardom. But yeah, I remember liking their tracks. No wonder, I dug what you're doing, man. It's like, yeah, it just reminded me for different reasons about different things all at once, which is maybe the whole point of art in
Right.
general.
Make you feel
So
something, remember something, hopefully
yeah,
in a good
dude.
way or whatever way you need to feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. So for what it's worth, you've got a new fan right here, and I really, really appreciate you coming on and hanging out for the night, man.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah. Any final thoughts before you say adios to the Easy Peasy podcast?
Um, Not necessarily. Like I said, it's been a pleasure. It's
Mhm.
always nice chatting, meeting new people, and yeah, keep in touch.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna play the outro here, and then you can hang out for a minute. We could say a less formal goodbye, and
Sure.
we'll take it out. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening, and come back and join us again on the Easy Peasy podcast. If you'd like to support us, you can go to easypeasy.ittybitty.tips.